Hello there, and welcome to today's Temperature Check with Jeff. I'm your host, Jeff Lewis, and today we have a lot to talk about. I was just playing some Joni Mitchell for you all. That was her song, Big Yellow Taxi. Of course, very few of us are comfortable getting into taxis right now. That said, there is a line in that song, they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. And today one might say that they locked down paradise. They locked down our offices. They've locked down our cities. In some cases, they've locked down our parks. And instead, they've put up a Zoom link. So today on Temperature Check with Jeff, I would like to take my temperature on the work from home reality that today your next job is just a Zoom link away. I want to explore the relationship between work and meaning, between work and personal identity in our industry, in the technology industry. We're going to take my temperature on all of that, but first, let's take our actual temperatures. So do as I do, pull out your home thermometer. You might have a laser thermometer, like I've got like 10 of these now. You might have one of those ear thermometers. You might have a silver bullet. I don't want to know the details. I just want a temperature. So do as I do. Let's get, okay, let's see if I can actually pull this off. Let's get a temperature. There we go. 98.6, a little bit high, but in the range of normal. So much of our identity in our industry is derived from where we work. That's not a problem, okay? Like that's not a bad thing. But in technology, work has expanded beyond healthy limits to encompass nearly everything in our lives. Work is where we meet new people. It's where we make our friends. It's where we eat. It's where we eat our breakfast, our lunch, oftentimes our dinner. It's where we think about, it's what we think about when we are home. It's what our parents say about us when they are telling their friends about us at the bridge circle at their retirement homes. But with shelter in place, the where in where we work, the where has cut out all of those other things that work has come to mean for us. In a present and immediate future where the place you work literally does not have a place, where switching jobs no longer means switching offices and making friends with dozens of new colleagues, but rather where switching jobs just means switching Zoom links and Slack workspaces on a few of your screens, tens of thousands of folks in the technology industry are going to have a major identity crisis, a crisis of meaning. When there is no physical offices, no team retreats, no in-person group meetings, how do you derive meaning from your job? There is going to be a recalibration of personal identity derivation in the tech industry, away from what you do, away from your work, and toward who you are. Where is the pendulum swinging to? Where are we going to derive our identities more so from in the future than we have in the past? We're going to get more of our identity from family. Folks that have put off having kids to focus on their careers at technology companies are going to reassess whether that trade has been worth it. We're going to get more of our identity from hobbies. In San Francisco, the first question pre-lockdown, pre-shelter in place that you would ask anyone is like, what company do you work at? What do you do? Oh, like, what do you do there? Are you in engineering? Are you a growth hacker? At a cocktail party, like in the future, if there ever are cocktail parties again, I have no idea. It would seem like weird to ask as a first question, where do you work? And it would have seemed historically unfocused to have asked about hobbies, like a first question at a cocktail party, what are your top 3 hobbies? Would have made no sense in like February in San Francisco. No one would have asked that question. That is going to change. More of our identity is going to come from our hobbies. We're going to discover new hobbies and build new interests that are not related to our jobs. Friends that you didn't meet through work. We might actually become more interpersonal with people in person outside of the office. You know, you're stuck in a line at Trader Joe's. Yes, you have to stand 6 feet apart from people, but that's not too far. You're still able to talk. I'm like about 6 feet from the camera, maybe 4 feet from the camera. You can hear me. So you might strike up a conversation with someone that you didn't know in the line at Trader Joe's. We might become so starved of human interaction that whereas where we used to be afraid of saying the wrong thing to an intriguing stranger who's different from us, who we don't work with, who we're not already friends with, we might now strike up a conversation with that stranger who looks strange and learn that they are actually really freaking interesting and make new friends who are not tied to our industry or not tied to our place of work. So what does all of this mean for you? It means that it is time to swap out networking for introspection. You physically cannot network right now. You need to embrace introspection, your inner self. You need to retune into your own micro-local community, absent a physical office community. Your floor in your building where you live, your street, is kind of your world. That's kind of your world today, and it's going to be at least for the next month in California. Our external world, yes, it has been forcibly shrunk. One may agree or disagree with that. At this point, I pretty much disagree with the forcible shrinking of our external world because not much is coming out of it at this point. But our inner worlds, the depth of our inner selves, can and will expand. Your Zoom background is not your identity. My Periscope background is not my identity. Bedrock, my firm, it fucking rocks, but it is not my identity. I am Jeff Lewis. My temperature is 97.8. What is yours?